All right, let's get started. Hello, thank you for attending the storage webinar, ClickandStor, Everything You Need to Know. My name is Bessie Hadaway. I'm the marketing coordinator at the storage group, and I will be presenting this webinar. I have some coworkers joining me, Jeannie Dotson, our Director of Internet Marketing Strategy, Bill Baker, our Director of Sales, and Paul Bowers, the ClickandStor guru and Creative Director of the storage group, are here to answer any questions you may have. So just a few housekeeping items. We will be recording this webinar, and all attendees will receive a copy in the next few business days. If you have any questions, please feel free to type them in the chat area. There will be a question and answer portion at the end of the webinar. If we don't get to your question, we will answer it afterwards. We also have a very special offer for our webinar attendees, so more on that later. And let's get started. So like I mentioned earlier, my name is Bessie Hadaway. I have experience using Hootsuite, Constant Contact, MailChimp, and many social media platforms. I have helped to plan events and participated in trade shows. I graduated from the University of Central Florida with a bachelor's degree in marketing. My goal is to increase brand awareness for our clients through blog posts and social media. All right, so let's get started with ClickandStor, Everything You Need to Know. So some of you may wonder, what exactly is ClickandStor? So ClickandStor is the original online self-storage rental system in the industry. It was launched in 2010. The tool allows tenants to rent or reserve a storage unit, portable storage container, or vehicle storage space 24/7 without leaving your website. And as you can see in the screenshot, ClickandStor can be used for vehicle parking spaces, climate-controlled storage, and much more. And so now that we know what ClickandStor is, let's go over some of the main features of the tool. So facilities can choose whether they want to offer 24/7 move-ins, storage unit reservations, or unit bookings for a future date, and they can also select a combination of those options. And ClickandStor is highly customizable to each individual facility based on the features and needs of that facility. And ClickandStor is also responsive, so that means that it automatically adjusts to fit the device the potential tenant is using. And the tool fully displays and functions on computers, tablets, and smartphones. So this is a screenshot of the ClickandStor demo on a smartphone, since it does work on smartphones. And we will go over the demo later on in the webinar. All right, and really quick, I'd like to gauge the audience and find out how familiar everyone is with ClickandStor, so I can tailor the webinar to the audience. And so the question is, how well do you know ClickandStor? The choices are, I don't have ClickandStor, but I want to learn more. I'm a beginner, or I'm an advanced user. So please go to menti.com and use the code 132543 so you can answer the question. And let me set the timer to 1 minute to give everyone enough time to answer. All right, just a little bit more time to give everyone the opportunity to vote.
So Bessie, this is Jeannie. You can hear me, right? It's looking like so far that there's a lot of people that actually don't have ClickandStor. So this is going to be very informative for them as well as the beginners, because I think some people believe they know a little bit about ClickandStor, but I think they'll be surprised at how many enhancements and features and how customizable it is.
Right. I think everyone will learn something new today, beginners, advanced, and the folks that don't have it but they want to learn a little more. All right. So, yeah, it looks like most people don't have it but they want to learn more, but there's a fair amount of beginners and advanced users too. So, like we mentioned, I think everyone will learn something new today. All right, and some more of the ClickandStor main features are that it displays live inventory rates and real-time pricing, and that's where the property management system integration comes in, the PMS system. And tenants can sign their storage lease online with SiteLink eSign. They can pay for their storage unit through ClickandStor, and they can navigate quickly and easily through the rental process. And ClickandStor is meant to be a very user-friendly tool. All right, and like I mentioned earlier, ClickandStor is highly customizable, and there's the ability to add customizable tab descriptions and ability to add starting at prices. And as you can see in the screenshot, you have the ability to customize those tabs based on the type of storage your facility offers and the type of unit sizes that your facility offers as well. And there's also the option to add extended unit explanations on tabs and auto-expanding details about units. And so this is a great place to go and showcase the details of each unit, such as whether it's a climate-controlled unit, whether it's an outdoor unit, if it has alarms or electrical outlets inside. This is a great place to let facilities know, let their tenants know about that kind of information. All right, and there's also the option to link unit videos and add custom unit images. And the videos are really great because you can give your tenants a virtual tour of the unit before they rent it online. There's also the ability to hide unavailable unit sizes and have color customized unit images. And the unit images are really great for tenants so that they can see what exactly will fit in the unit that they selected, so that they can decide if that's best for them. And so speaking of that, ClickandStor can be integrated with the 3D storage calculator, and tenants can choose a unit based on the size of their current home or the items that they want to store in their unit. And ClickandStor will recommend a unit size, and if the facility runs out of that size, the next closest size will automatically be shown. And as you can see in the screenshot, you can choose based on whether your home is 1, 2, 3, or 4 bedrooms, or you can click Customize Your Stored Items. And from there, you can choose whether you want to store a bed, table, chairs, whatever it is you plan to store, and you'll see a 3D diagram of the unit with your items in the unit, and ClickandStor will show the recommended unit size. And this is another great innovation from Paul and the tech team here at the Storage Group, and ClickandStor is the only online rental tool in the industry that has this feature. All right, and these are our current property management system or PMS integrations: SiteLink, SiteLink eSign, eMove, Blue Moon, and Yardi. And once again, if you have any questions, feel free to type them in the chat area. All right, so it's time for our next audience question. And the question is, where do most of your storage rentals come from? So do most of your tenants say that they heard about you from search engines? So that would be Google, Bing, Yahoo, or social media, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter. Did they pass by or stop by your facility? Did they find out about you from your website or through paid search ads such as Google ads, LinkedIn ads, Facebook ads? So once again, go to menti.com and use the code 132543. And I will give everyone enough time to vote.
Again, it's interesting to see how the results that are coming in. We have just 1 minute left to be able to go. All you have to do is go to menti.com and use the code 132543. Right now, not all the voting is in, but it looks like most people are getting them by people that are passing by the storage facility, which is interesting, with search engines being second and websites being third. So that means there's a lot of room for these facilities to market themselves so that they get a really vast array of how people find them.
So it looks like most people answered that there's tenants pass by the facility followed by search engines and websites. And so this is really great information for us to know. And even if you don't have a website just yet, when you combine the online rental system of ClickandStor and the power of online rentals with a storage website, you're able to convert a lot more traffic and a lot more rentals from website visitors into paying tenants. So like Jeannie mentioned, there's a lot of room for growth to market your self-storage facility. All right, and so let's move on to the latest ClickandStor enhancements. And so now you can have a special web price that can be added to increase the occupancy rate of certain storage units. Perhaps you have certain unit sizes or types that don't rent out as fast as others, and if you want to increase the rentals of those units, you can definitely offer a web price through ClickandStor. There's also a quicker system load time and speed, and the ERD integration has been optimized for better performance, and you also have the option to add higher resolution photos. And so why is faster speed within ClickandStor so important? And potential tenants will bounce or leave your website if ClickandStor and the website doesn't load fast enough. And in fact, Google found that 53% of people will leave a mobile website if it takes more than 3 seconds to load. So with that in mind, making sure that the website and the speed of ClickandStor is fast enough to handle online rentals is extremely important. Images have been optimized and they have had an increased load time so that they load faster within ClickandStor. And the facility gate code is required for current tenants who want to create an online ClickandStor account, and that's for security reasons. And something that really sets ClickandStor apart from kiosks and other online storage rental systems is the ability to monitor and track your facility's rentals through the performance dashboard. So in the dashboard, you'll see your bookings, reservations, move-ins, popular order types, percent of completed rentals, and price of storage units per square foot. It will also show your recent storage unit orders with the date, size, type, cost, tenant name, and contact information. And the screenshot right here is just a sample of what you would see in the dashboard. And you can also view your ClickandStor abandonment reports in the dashboard. And so that would include the date, type of transaction, unit size, potential tenant name, phone number, and email address. And the screenshot right here is just a sample of the ClickandStor demo information and the abandonment reports that go with that. So it's just a sample of what you would see. And we'll go over abandonment reports in more detail in a moment. All right, and so let's go over what abandonment reports are and why they are so important. And so a potential tenant, they may attempt to rent a storage unit through ClickandStor, but they don't complete the rental process. Perhaps they get busy or they get interrupted and they leave ClickandStor. So ClickandStor will provide an abandonment report to the storage facility with the potential tenant's contact information in about an hour after the tenant leaves ClickandStor. All right, and then the storage facility can contact the lead, and ClickandStor will automatically send an email with a coupon to encourage the potential tenant to complete their online rental. So ClickandStor is the only online storage rental system that provides these abandonment reports. And as you can see in the screenshot right here, this is a sample email of what the potential tenant would receive with the coupon code and the link to return to the website. All right, and since you are attending this webinar, you will be the first to hear about a new feature that we're launching. The Storage Group Tech team has been working very hard to create a market intel section within the performance dashboard. And so facilities will soon have access to local competitor data in the dashboard, and that will be called Market Intel. It will show your facilities prices compared, how your facilities prices compare in your market, including the average price difference. Competitive prices can be viewed by unit size, storage unit type, and more. So facilities will also be able to view the percentage of the units that are overpriced or underpriced compared to other facilities in their area. And facilities can also see the average rental price for each size and type of unit in their local area. A map is also going to be displayed that will show you what facilities yours is being compared to. And so the Market Intel tool is in its final round of testing, but it will be available soon. So keep a lookout for our announcement when the tool has launched. All right, and to recap what we discussed, with ClickandStor Kiosk in Your Pocket, tenants can rent a unit 24/7 without leaving your storage website, and it allows tenants to book, reserve, rent, and pay for a unit online. Abandonment reports can increase your revenue and occupancy rates, and it allows tenants to move into their unit even after the facility office is closed. And so this is some ClickandStor case study data that we gathered over time. And so ClickandStor bookings in May of 2016 across 400 plus facilities were 1,050, and the ClickandStor bookings in May of 2017 across 444 facilities were 1,495. And so this is a 42% increase in rentals over 1 year for facilities that have had ClickandStor. And so this data supports that potential tenants want the convenience and flexibility of online rentals, and tenants are willing to go to facilities that offer this. And they want to go to this. All right, so let's go to ClickandStor, a Kiosk in Your Pocket demo. All right, so we're in the ClickandStor demo on the Storage Group website, and as you can see here, there's a couple of different layouts to choose from, 1, 2, and 3. But for the demo, we're just going to use Demo 1. And you also have the option to move in, book it, or reserve. And for the demo, we're just going to use move in. All right, and so facilities have the option to offer tenant insurance through ClickandStor. So we will select one of those. And they also have the ability to offer a discount through ClickandStor. Or they can choose, I do not wish to use a discount. All right, then click continue. Then you will choose whether you're new or returning customer. So for the demo, we're going to use new. I'm going to put my email address in the field right here. All right, then you'll create a password and re-enter that. And you'll enter in your first and last name, your phone number, your address, and your billing information. So ClickandStor accepts credit card or ACH bank debit. And this is just sample data for the demo. You'll enter in your credit card information, billing address, and then you have the option to sign up for auto pay if you wish. And then you'll check the agree with terms box and click continue. All right, then you want to make sure that all this data is correct before you hit submit. All right, then you'll click here to sign your rental agreement. And this is where SiteLink eSign comes in. All right, then you'll click signature here. Click accept and confirm signing. And your lease has been received and your order is complete. And then they will display a confirmation, and you'll also have the access code, the gate code to move into the facility right away. And you'll also receive this information in an email. And so for an additional cost, facilities can customize the confirmation email and ask tenants to write a review for the facility so that there's that ongoing communication between the tenant and the facility. And this is a fantastic way to gather more reviews for your facility. All right. And then like I mentioned earlier, we do have a very special webinar attendee offer. We're offering 50% off the setup fee for ClickandStor, a kiosk in your pocket. And this offer is only good until June 30th. So if you want to take advantage of it, please contact Jill Baker, our Director of Sales, and I will put her contact information up in a moment. And so the storage group is very excited to be nominated for Best Customer Service and Best Marketing Service categories for the Inside Self-Storage Best of Business poll. And so we would really appreciate it if you would vote for us. And please go to the link below and vote for us. It'll just ask you for your email address, and then you'll receive an email with a link to vote for us in the poll. All right, and as promised, it's time for our Q&A section, so I'm going to hand it over to Jeannie.
Hi, and while I'm doing this, can you, Bessie, put Jill's information up so people, if they want to, look at that and get that, that would be good. There's different ones that came in, and people who, when they heard that we were doing this webinar, were sending in things. One of the things people always ask, so let's clarify the difference between move-ins, bookings, and reservations, because each facility kind of does things differently. I think one of the great things about ClickandStor is that you can customize it so it's not different from what you currently do, but it's the ability to customize if some of the processes are online, but some of it they have to go in, all that kind of stuff. So could you just explain the move-in versus bookings and reservations?
Sure. So a move-in, it means that the tenant wants to move in the same day as completing the online rental. Bookings are for a future date, and they allow you to pay the first month's rent online, and then reservations hold the unit for you for a future date. So there's a lot of options there, a lot of flexibility based on what the facility wants to offer and what they feel is best for their tenants.
And I know people always ask about the PMS or systems, and will we be adding more? One thing that I'll say is I know that our tech team is constantly working on adding more PMS integrations to ClickandStor, and we make announcements once more have been added. And then another question we got was, why should I choose ClickandStor over a rental kiosk that I can have at my facility?
Yeah, that's a great question. So a kiosk or ClickandStor is definitely more affordable than a kiosk, and you're able to monitor your rentals through the performance dashboard. Kiosks do have that security risk if they take cash and if they break down, and someone needs to come out and physically fix it, whereas ClickandStor, you're able to access it from any device, computer, tablet, smartphone, whether it's the facility's device or a device that the tenant has. So there's a lot more options with that, and there's a lot less risk of theft and breaking down when you're able to use it on multiple devices.
Great. Thank you. And then what about if the storage group does not manage my website? Can I still get ClickandStor?
Yeah, absolutely. All you need is the ability to add a small JavaScript snippet to your page, and we can definitely add it for you. It will definitely increase your online rentals, whether you have a website managed by us or not.
Exactly. And Bessie and I are both in the marketing department, and we have to tell you, we're on webinars all the time about the latest trends and keeping up with everything. And everything that everybody talks about nowadays is for local businesses, people do it on the go. So if you think that mobile is not important, it's imperative. Most people are searching for local businesses while they're on their smartphones. They are not even necessarily doing it from their computer. And they want to be able to complete transactions, or at least part of a transaction online. I always tell people it used to be a lot of people use the web to do research, but now they actually want to research, find the best prices, and be able to complete a transaction. And the great thing about ClickandStor is it allows people to do it when they are on their phone and they are looking and they do realize that they need a storage unit. So I think that's an important thing to bring up. And I think I have, okay, if I have an unmanned facility, can I use ClickandStor?
Yes, yeah, definitely. ClickandStor is great for an unmanned facility. Like we mentioned earlier, you can use it as a 24/7 kiosk or a POS system. Just having a tablet with internet connection at the facility is really all you need. And it's simple enough to operate that an unmanned facility can use it. And since you are able to allow 24/7 move-ins, you don't need an employee or a facility manager to be there to open the gate or allow them to have access. I mean, because that email provides the gate code, so tenants can move in on their own time when it's best for them.
And you had mentioned one of the benefits versus a kiosk, physical kiosk at facility is, then you have to get somebody to help. If something happens with ClickandStor, what support is provided?
Yeah, ClickandStor offers 24/7 emergency support even on weekends, and we are very quick to respond. So it's our goal to just make sure that everyone has a smooth rental process, both from the facility side and from the tenant side.
Great. Okay, we had somebody ask, is the ClickandStor dashboard accessed through our website's admins?
So your client performance strategist would provide you with the login information, and we've pretty much set up everyone. So we can definitely ask, Zach, our team lead of client performance strategy, and ask him to provide you with that information, and we can definitely go over how to access it and make sure that everything's working right so you're able to see your rentals as time goes on through the dashboard.
And I think we did have somebody, Michelle, had a question about the cost, and what I can do is have Jill contact you directly because it depends on performance plans or if we're going to host or not host, Michelle. So what I'll do is we'll give your contact information to Jill, and she will contact you directly to discuss with you. And I think that's it. I think those were the main questions. Let's see. Oh, somebody asked about the security of ClickandStor.
So yeah, ClickandStor is very secure, and that's one of our top priorities, both for us as a company, and we know it's how important it is for facilities. So ClickandStor has an SSL certificate or a secure connection, and that works behind the scenes, whether your website has that or not. And credit card numbers and other sensitive data are encrypted, again, to have even further security.
Great. Great. I think that was it for now. I know we are going to be providing a recording of this to all the attendees. We do appreciate it.
Yeah, and thank you so much for attending our webinar. At the moment, that's all the time we have for questions. But if we didn't answer your question yet, we'll be sure to reach out to you and provide you with the answer. So thank you so much for your time and for attending our webinar.